Little Gay Talk Show, Houston's hot mess of a podcast. A funny but thoughtful look at the LGBTQIA plus community.
I know I keep looking down when I'm supposed to be looking at the camera.
Okay, that part. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. It's another episode of that Little Gay Talk Show with your host, Joel Tatum.
And Julio Briseño.
Yes. We're everybody needs to remember we're not only just doing a podcast, but we're doing video. So if you hear the words video, y'all know to go to YouTube.
Okay.
Just go to YouTube.
Isn't that cool now we can say that? Go check us out on YouTube.
Go check us out on YouTube.
We will annoy the fuck out of you. Subscribe, like, hit a notification bell button.
Well, you know what? It's going to get that way with podcasts too, where you're going to be able to subscribe to your favorite podcast. But you know what? I'm not sure. I know that as a podcaster, I kind of want to make a little bit of coins. But I don't know how I feel about...
Please sponsor us. We're poor.
Yes, we're poor.
We need your money.
As I told Wendy Taylor, I keep wanting to say Wendy Williams. Every time I say her name...
How you doing?
But like I said, the last time I talked to Wendy Taylor, I'm like, the show is doing well, but my pocketbook is empty.
Okay, that part. That is the truth behind the podcasting.
And I think everybody in the podcasting community who doesn't have like...
We should make a video, call it Behind the Podcast.
Yes, exactly.
And just show the struggles of what it is to make a podcast.
Yes, exactly.
We'll, of course, exaggerate everything.
I'm going to pull out all my receipts for all the stuff that I've had to buy in the past couple of years because y'all don't understand. I spent thousands of dollars.
On lube.
Although, for good lube, no, girl, you just go to Costco. You can buy...
Oh, you're that jelly brand?
You're
that basic bitch?
No. You can buy by the gallon.
What?
Little gallon jugs.
You can do it at the sex store, too.
Gun smoke. Or what is it?
They sell
gunpowder, gun smoke?
Gun oil.
Oil.
I think. I don't know. I don't use lube. I'm kidding.
You wetter than
I'm a
everybody.
spec kind of girl.
You must be the wettest girl on the planet.
My aesthetic is... That's my aesthetic.
Okay, that's from the 1970s, girl.
Into the 2000s as well.
And even then, you probably have never heard of this brand, but they use Crisco, like the shortening.
That's some old school ass shit.
That's old school,
girl. Not the Crisco.
Yes,
the
that's Loretta Lynn fried chicken on a commercial.
That wasn't the only thing that got fried. Boo.
Exactly. And I didn't hear about Crisco until, well, for those kind of reasons, until the late 80s and early 90s. And I'm like, these old queens talking about using
Crisco, bitch. Straight up Crisco.
Y'all have ruined my fried chicken experience. I'm like, how?
Can you imagine? That's just, I'm imagining the mess behind that.
Exactly. And
the cleanup that goes with it.
And I don't know if
which is part of the reason
queens,
that when it comes to lube, I don't care for the oil base. Just because it's that, it just lasts longer. Even if you wash it off, it's still somewhat there.
Girl, it takes forever to get out of your sheets.
It really does.
I was thinking about buying one of those little, I saw it on Wish.com.
Oh, girl, you're buying your lube on Wish now?
No, I'm not buying my lube on Wish.
Instead of gun oil, you're getting gunpowder?
Girl, no. Nobody.
You're getting lube and powder for
if
it to
you
mix
are
it
buying lube on Wish, you
just use Crisco. It's cheaper.
Girl, just get you some vegetable oil because it's probably going to be the same thing.
Not the corn vegetable oil.
Well, it's lower in cholesterol, so you don't want to use Crisco.
Right.
Crisco is too high in cholesterol.
That part.
And if you're going to use it back there, you don't want cholesterol entering you. You're trying to get it out of you.
Is his name cholesterol or is?
Can you imagine?
This is what we call food porn in the industry.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like we took Crisco to a whole new level. We sexualized it.
Have you ever thought about doing a food porn video and maybe putting it on OnlyFans, like where you're just sitting around eating?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
You know, they have, what do they call it? The mukbang, where you eat this big thing of food front of the camera and you just slop on down.
And a bitch loves to eat. I will tell you that right now.
Oh, I love to eat. What? But you know what?
What would we call this OnlyFans food porn channel?
Little Gay Talk Show presents
food porn.
Let's eat.
What? And then you cut the cutaways like
yeah, exactly.
Like, Jerry Springer show. Watch me eat, Daddy. My mama never
And
fed me.
let's be honest here. You go to the gym, so you might have to like take your shirt off and eat some crab legs, or
In the locker room.
you would have to eat something sensual, like some sausage or maybe
Can I be like that
some
lady that
eggplant.
types on the keyboard? Crunch. You're like, girl, I'll be at the gym with crab legs.
Can you imagine being at the gym and watching somebody eat?
Girl, yes, I've seen it actually.
You know, I have seen it at the
I've
gym.
seen the audacity of some people bringing like fast food to the gym right before they
Girl,
go.
Burger King.
I've seen McDonald's, Whataburgers, Burger King, all that. I'm like, what's the fucking point?
What did y'all bring that? Look, I know.
Literally an oxymoron.
If you read the side of the package, it is 45 grams of protein. Yes, I get that. You getting, because your protein shakes can go up to 50. Because I have a protein shake in there right now, muscle milk, and it's 50 grams.
Okay.
And all I need
where
is
are your muscles? Where'd you leave them? They still in the can?
For me,
Should we?
it's
Do you
about.
still have the receipt?
For me, it's about muscle retention. Okay, it's about not having those. You know how the.
Where?
You know how they have the little things under the arms that go flappy.
That flap that you get like
that flap, so you don't see no flap. 'Cause that's
my spread wings.
no flap. Because we
the
drink our protein.
The aerodynamics, the way the wind hit, and then you just fly away like a dud. You're that girl.
No offense to anyone who has the flappies,
or it has a duck fetish. Whatever. We apologize.
Yeah, exactly. We don't. Your fetish is your business. As long as the duck doesn't get hurt. Although, can a duck?
But yeah,
consent?
we're gonna go.
But a duck can't consent. So
no animal really can consent.
No animal can consent. It's not like
Let's just skip this subject because I am not disgusted. PETA will come for us.
Exactly. Well, you know what? I'm just going to throw in one little caveat here. Crows are super intelligent.
Yes, they
so and they do remember human faces.
I'm on crow TikTok where like people like half of them like the wild ones they'll feed them stuff and then the crows bring them gifts.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you piss a crow off, they'll have a bunch of crows.
Yeah. Don't fuck with crows.
You'll be walking down the street and crows will be.
They recognize you. They're not stupid. They're very.
They'll be reading you on the side, girl. They will be reading you on the side. And that bitch.
Say it to my face, bitch. Say it. What? What about it? And then all of a sudden,
it's a rain of poop coming down.
You get to where you're going.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to you?
So
I got attacked by some crows.
So crows might be able to consent. They might be able to consent.
I'm gonna leave you in that subject.
I'm not
to yourself.
Okay, so I'm lonely. It's been a long time since I had anybody since last summer. So and
drink your juice, Shelby. Go ahead.
And let me tell you something right now.
Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Tell us.
And let me tell you something right now. With these vaccination rates, I probably won't be getting them. I probably won't be getting into anybody anytime soon. It's just.
Speaking
it's just crazy out here. Yeah,
we
got to talk about it because I think it's on both of our minds, and we know what we're going to talk about.
Sure. Okay. I'm gonna let you walk me into this one.
Houston Pride.
Yeah. Oh yes. The
Houston Pride.
Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
The fact that we're not having a parade this year. Let me tell you something. I know that people are going back and forth on this.
Yes, they
and I know that some of my friends have been talking about it. And I have tried to stay out of the conversation because I really wanted time to think about.
So let's paint a larger picture.
Yeah, yes.
So in the midst of COVID, that would hit March 2020, June 2020, we were supposed to have Pride here in Houston. That's when we celebrate ours as well. But then it was canceled due to the pandemic, understanding. Fast forward, June 2021, they were supposed to do something, but they didn't do it. And they had a valid reason for not doing, which they said, look, we didn't know where the COVID direction was going. We didn't know where we were going to be at next June, so we didn't even plan it. We just left it and said, we'll see what happens.
Well, actually, it was also on the side of the city of Houston because they weren't able to get out the permits.
They weren't allowing anybody to do anything outdoor, massive.
For a while, so they weren't allowing that. So that happened, and so that's why we did not have it in June.
Yes.
And we were waiting for the announcement.
Then they made an announcement. Hey guys, we'll let you know in the fall when we're going to do it in the fall, but we'll tell you we're going to have an event and let you know specifically when. And then we'll do the parade in the fall. We're going to do the whole celebration, the whole shebang. But then they just 2 days ago, roughly
Sunday,
they announced that they weren't even going to do a parade. They weren't. There's a lot of rumors that I've heard already. A lot of it has to do with the internal politics of the Pride organization. A lot of it has to do with poor planning. I've heard it all. I've heard it all: planning poorly, management, things of that nature. But their excuse was, and
it's, you know what? Like I said, regardless of how you feel, it's a valid excuse. COVID rates have gone way back up.
yeah,
Especially with this new Delta variant. They've gone way back up. So the fear is, do we have this big event where we have 700,000 people descending on Houston, and then we have a super spreader event? So I understand the logic of saying, let's just do a small one in Montrose, like we used to do it in the old days.
yeah.
And
A block party, essentially what they called it.
yeah, exactly. Which we already did that.
Yeah, we did. All the bars. So
All the
in
bars
June,
already did
since
that.
we didn't have the event, and I was working at the bars. Like the bars continued on with the June, the end of the
Yeah,
month
and it wasn't a
celebration.
huge.
It was a great turnout.
It was
by
a
the
great
way.
turnout,
Like,
but
every bar brought their best A game.
Yeah, exactly.
To this situation. They all like did a patio parking lot event.
Yes.
They all brought like just things to keep people entertained
Yes.
while they were in Montrose for
And
the whole
if
weekend.
you're in any other major city in the nation, you probably experienced some of the. I'm sure that all your committees, all your councils,
Right.
all the people who do your Pride events are going through this. Went through the same issues.
Right.
They did maybe smaller events here and there. New York Pride, which is usually huge, wasn't a big event this year.
Yeah.
Same thing with LA. Same thing with Chicago. No, not a large amount of big events.
Yep.
They've been keeping them relatively small. So I kind of think that it's actually on brand to just say, you know what, we're just going to go back into Montrose. We'll do a few vendors. We'll keep it slow and low outside.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, slow and low outside, and everybody will have a good time. And
Yeah.
we'll, just keep it as simple as
But,
possible.
and even though in their the good faith of them thinking bigger than they were watching out for people, but Montrose disagreed with them. They're like, "What do you mean we're not going to have a pro? What do you?" Like people were still upset about it.
Yeah, people were upset.
I'm kind of neutral. My position, I'm kind of neutral. Like, yes, I would like to see the event come back, but at the same time, I get the consequences of their actions. So then, at the same time, is holding it
That's where I'm
in
at,
the
too.
neighborhood also a safe measure?
That's where I'm holding it. That's where I'm at too. It's just a wait and see.
Okay.
And honestly, this show will probably be there anyway. We're probably gonna be there.
That part.
Yeah. So it's whether it's through Out and Proud Live or some other event, we're probably gonna be there.
Yes.
So we'll be able to see firsthand on what's going on.
You're gonna be there, bitches, and you're gonna
Yeah.
see us there, and you're gonna be on the video, all the above.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I'll probably be working
You'll probably be working.
more than likely. Speaking of working,
Which, by the way, like we said before, but that's something we'll talk about on the side.
Yeah.
We'll plan out how we're gonna do that when we
So,
get across that bridge.
speaking of working, I changed jobs recently.
He's working at JR's, yeah.
Hey y'all. So yeah, an opportunity presented itself. I jumped on it and I said, okay, let's go, let's do it.
Buddies is still in our good graces, though. We still do shows at Buddies.
We love them. We have nothing but love and respect for them. And actually, I was there on Monday seeing Desi's Drag Race. Said hi to all my coworkers and we're like, hey y'all. And I was off on a Monday, bitch. I had not been off on a Monday in like 5 years. I felt so fucking weird being out on a Monday because I'm used to working the Mondays. I'm used to the Monday crowd, and now I'm out and about. I'm like, hey y'all. They're like, you're not. And half of them were like, you're not working tonight. And I was like, nope, here I am. But I got to go see shows that I have not seen before. I went to Poppy's. There's a Latin club here in Houston. What's her name? Luna of the Lilies is one of the queens. I got to see her show, Basura. She was featuring Annie Naylor and a few other queens.
Did you get to see Charlotte at all?
Not at Poppy's. I think she just got back from Florida.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was in Florida.
Yeah, she wasn't even in Houston, so I did not see her.
I forgot about that. She just got back into town today, so she's actually been out of town for maybe a week or two. Yeah. So,
so I've not seen her. And then I went to a few of the bars in the neighborhood and just kind of bar hop, said hi. And then I love going out on like the weekdays. I love it because it's super chill. The vibe is easygoing. It's just I can relax and just. There's no mega crowds around me. I'm just like chilling, and then like you actually get to have intimate conversations with people or have one-on-ones. So a lot of times I usually sit with the bartenders and talk to them. Sometimes people gather and I'll just hold conversation with everybody. Which is cute.
Which normally I like to do, but I'm you know what? I'm gonna be honest here, and I know a lot of people are going through this. My social anxiety has hit a new high, so it's like
I'm gonna buy you some CBD, THC
because I spend a lot of time on the internet, and I really do spend a lot of time on the internet, and it's really because I want to.
90% of that is porn. We're just throwing that out.
You know what?
I do know what. That's why I just said it, bitch.
It's.
Where's that girl on TikTok? Bitch.
Here's my. Can I tell you my morning routine? I'm gonna tell you my morning routine. Okay.
Masturbation. Okay. Brush your teeth. Masturbation again. Shower. Masturbate in the shower, and then masturbate after the shower.
Okay. That's a lot of masturbation.
That's a lot. I'm about to say that's a lot.
You must think I'm 18 years old.
Clearly, because that is a lot.
I've got stuff to do. I can't.
Okay, that's gonna take up a whole morning.
Yes, that's gonna take up all my morning. No, I mean, maybe 3 times in the morning because I heard, and like I said, too much time on the internet. You have to keep that part.
Remind me not to shake your hand anytime soon.
You know what? You've been shaking everybody's hand up until this point. Okay, you ain't gonna get nothing. Okay, it's just me by myself. If you catch anything, you just gonna catch happiness. That's all you gonna catch.
You gonna catch these hands.
That's it. But for the most part, get up in the morning. Spend about an hour looking for porn because you have to look for it. You can't just.
It's whatever hits you that mood. Whatever your mood is that day.
What am I in the mood for? Do I want to?
Am I into daddies?
Am I into daddies this morning?
Step-daddies?
Do I want to look at twinks? Am I in the mood for Latin,
holes.
Asian, Black?
Are we looking for amateur? Are we looking for pro?
Yeah,
what's the grain quality when it comes to the footage?
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes vintage.
1920 silent vintage?
No, we're not going that far back because you can't. I like to. You know what? I'm a audio person, so I like to hear what's going on. I don't like all. The problem.
You're the one guy that turns the volume up.
Yeah, I don't like 70s porn because they always play music during sex, and I'm like, I want to hear the sex noises. I don't want to. Yeah.
And you're like, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up with the music. I don't need a soundtrack to.
Back in its day, that was the movement.
That
was
I know.
The aesthetic for jerking off.
So was hair under the arms.
Yes.
So was hair on the vagina.
FYI, just putting out there, please keep your shit trimmed if you're going to fuck with me. I don't need to see.
Is that an important thing for you?
Trimmed. I never said shaved. I never said waxed. Trimmed.
Because
groomed.
I'm all about.
Taken care of.
I'm just all natural. Just you do you. As long as everything is clean, I'm all about cleanliness. Whether it's a family member or friend, you just have one of those people you can talk to about intimate.
I call it your person, like the Grey's Anatomy. I learned that from them. Christina Yang and what's her name? What's her name? The lead character. Was it Christina Yang and the other bitch? Meredith,
yes.
She's like, you're my person, and you're gonna be available for me when I say what I do.
Yeah, exactly. It's that, but it's only the one friend in your group,
yes,
that you can talk about intimate issues with, and they will not shame you for it, and they will give you great advice on how to handle things.
I'm at that point now with my best friend Jared. Like we literally get on the phone. It can be any damn fucking topic, from the Bible to the fucking girl he came over last night and massacred.
I know, right?
And you're like, what?
And my cousin, who is just my best friend in the whole world. And I can talk to him about. I've talked to him about.
Those are, by the way, those are the keeper people.
Yeah,
those are the people you actually care about. You put forth the effort and make sure that they're okay. Those are the people that like that's what I like to do with my friend Jared. Like, if I don't hear from at least, and we're those friends too that we don't need to talk to each other every day. Like we'll just pop up 5 days later. Hey, bitch, what's up? And I'm like, hey, girl.
I used to be that bitch. And by the way,
you still are that bitch.
I'm still that bitch.
You're still that bitch, Joe.
I'm an old school that bitch. I used to be that bitch back in the day when I was my young tweak myself. They could be on the phone for 4 or 5 hours.
Girl.
Just talking on the phone. Tying up the line.
Trying to call her and all we get is a busy signal.
Keeping the internet from being used.
Now you're Ethernet.
Joel, get off the phone. We try to use the internet. Picked up the phone.
I had a girlfriend once.
I did too.
Yeah.
But I didn't know I had a girlfriend.
But I knew the whole time, I was like, we're not going to last. And this is, I actually like your brother better.
But I was in school. I was in junior college at the time, and it was a friend.
Yeah.
And we went out. She asked me to go out to the movies and dinner, and I said, okay, let's go out to the movies. I didn't know she was asking me on a date.
That part.
I thought we were just going out to be friends, and then we at the movies, and then she reaches over and kisses me and puts her hands in a certain place.
And what she say? Fuck me right here, Joe.
And I was like, what's happening here?
I'm not ready.
I don't know what's happening here. I thought we were just friends. Bitch. But she had given me clues.
Oh,
I told my friend.
Say something. She giving me head. I was like, what?
No, she had given me clues like for weeks, and I didn't realize that she was trying to like. They would just go over my head. I was just completely over my head.
Poor soul. She was just trying to get fucked by Joel, and Joel just had no idea.
I had no idea, and after she told me, I went, okay, I guess we're together.
Oh, okay.
And then we were like together for a little bit, and then my father's like,
that's my boy.
I'm like, hey, Dad, I have a girlfriend, and he just burst out laughing. He goes, you have a girlfriend.
Prove it.
You have a girlfriend.
Show me the receipts.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it said. Show me the receipts. And she called and said, yes, I'm his girlfriend. And my dad hung up the phone and said,
you paid her, didn't you?
It won't last.
Oh.
I already know what you like. It's not going to last.
Oh, okay. He had to let you go through your moment.
Yeah, he had to let me go through my moment. He knew.
He was the GOAT at the time. The greatest of all time.
Yeah. He knew better than my mother did. My mother knew. And moms are the ones who are supposed to know, but he already knew.
Always. My mom had no fucking clue about me.
No, my dad
She said she kind of suspected because she started suspecting because of the age thing. Where she noticed that her friends, their kids at certain ages were doing certain things, and then she looked back at me and she's like, he's 25 and he's already got a girlfriend. Oh, he's 28, he's got a kid already. Oh, they're in their 30s and they just bought a house together. What are you doing? And I was like,
but I kind of picture you're kind of straight acting, so I kind of picture you as maybe an ex-jock or
really,
yeah.
And I wasn't even like sports.
Yeah,
related
that kind of guy. Because you honestly,
bro.
Honestly, you look like a bro.
Thanks, bro.
Sometimes you look. I mean, especially when you had your long hair. Then you look like one of those fuck boys.
Oh yeah,
you look like a fuck boy.
I did with long hair.
With long hair, yeah.
This is news to me.
I thought I told you that one time, but no, you look like a fuck boy. And the first time I met you, and I'm like, another straight fuck boy working in those gay bars. I don't want to deal with that. And I'm like, and then when it turns out, no, I'm gay, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just carry myself in a masculine way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's just how I like it. Like, it just, the femininity does not stick to me at all. And I have nothing against it. I don't judge anybody for it. It's just the way I carry myself. Is just, I will say, when I'm out in the regular, outside the neighborhood, maybe I'm more masculine projecting, but when I'm in the neighborhood, I'm uncomfortable and shit. I'm very like, hey girl, hey.
Yeah, because I've said it.
I don't know where those noises came from, but.
Even I've said it in the past. You can be the most masculine man on the planet as far as being a gay man is concerned, but as soon as you're around other gays, it's like, girl, let me tell you. Yeah, it comes out.
It comes out.
It comes out, so stop. Like,
and then that neighborhood brings it out of me, too. Because I see so many people, and I know enough people that I have to, like, be that. Like, I have to bring out that girl personality, or where some people have a sassy attitude. Like, we have this, like, what do you say? Like, we have these, like, ways we talk to each other, and like with some regulars, I express myself more than others, depending on how comfortable I am with them. So when I see them, I'm like, girl, mamas, hey, bitch. Period.
For me, I walk kind of the line. I don't know.
What line? The curved line?
The line between...
The horizontal? The vertical line?
Girl, it's squiggly. It's a squiggly line.
I was about to say, it ain't a straight line.
It's not a straight line. It's a squiggly line. Where sometimes, when I was hanging out with my straight friends, and they would be like, We didn't know 100% sure, but we thought you might be, but we didn't really want to say anything because you've never talked about girls. And I'm like,
that part.
You have never heard me ever. I'm like, I thought I made it quite clear that I was gay.
I am a homosexual.
I thought I made it pretty clear.
What made you think that I wasn't gay?
Why are we still having this conversation? So, yeah, so I thought I made it pretty clear, but sometimes I seem to have walked the line. And like I said, with my parents, sometimes they went, maybe he's just weird. Maybe he's just weird. He likes
different.
He likes heavy metal music. He reads a lot of books. He quotes poetry all the time. He likes video games and comic books.
She's a fagoot.
Mm-hmm. So maybe
you ever heard about that? Mexican grandmas using what they call vaporu. You know what vaporu is?
No, I don't know.
Vapor rub.
Oh yes.
So
but I feel Filipino use vapor rub too.
Like Latina grandmas swear by vapor
they
rub.
Swear
They call it vaporu.
I have to say
according to my grandma, vaporu cures cancer, diabetes, headaches, muscle pains. According to her, vaporu is the solution for everything.
But I realized in the South that a lot of people use vapor rub for uses that I didn't even know you could use vapor rub for. My grandma will lather
that shit on her like this to go to sleep. That minty ass smell. I'm like, Grandma, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I didn't tell her what the fuck, but I was like, in my, like, the way it came out, I was like, what are you doing? Like, what? Why? I do this all the time. And it's like, girl, that's a lot of vapor rub.
I know.
She has her methods of like, this, put it on a key, and you do a C. And no, I'm not walking around smelling like Rumplemans. No, I'm good. I'm done. Fuck that.
I did not know that vapor rub was a big thing in the Latino community until I started watching.
Especially with grandmas. They got the market cornered.
And I
watch Univision, it's like the commercials are specifically for grandmas.
But I watch all this stuff in comedy videos for with Hispanic creators on like YouTube, on TikTok, and all this other stuff. And vapor rub. But I'm like,
vaporu.
Wow, I did not realize. And then I saw that Filipinos also use vapor rub in the same way, and I'm like,
Filipinos are, in my opinion, Latino Asians.
Yeah,
straight up. I've seen something whenever I come across them, the Latino or the Filipino community. I see like a Asian. They're just the Asian Latinos. That's all they are to me. I'm just like, because they eat almost the same thing we do. They have the same way of speaking to each other. It's when they're speaking. How do you say the language? Filipino?
Tagalog.
Oh, okay. So when they're speaking, like I see the mannerisms, I'm like, y'all are just the Asian Latinos. Let's get out of here. Did you watch the news recently?
I did.
Did you see Biz Markie died?
I saw that he had passed away at, I think, 53?
57.
57. I'm only 4 years away from that.
Dang, girl.
Every time I see someone from my generation die, it just makes me question my mortality at that moment.
You don't know who Biz Markie is. He's that guy that sang Just a Friend. You got what I need.
He was also in the Doritos commercials.
Huh?
The Doritos commercials. Remember the Doritos commercials where they it was I think it was Morgan Freeman and the guy from Game of Thrones, and they had to do like this rap off.
What? I didn't know.
And I think that was Biz Markie.
What?
Yes, girl. It was from the 2016 maybe Super Bowl.
Yeah,
girl. That commercial was off the chain.
Have you caught any of the Olympics on the news?
No, I haven't really watched it.
What?
I know. I'm usually big into the Olympics, especially gymnastics.
I have a bone to pick with the Olympics. My bone is because I've seen a few short docs about it, and then it made me think, because a lot of the times when these Olympic Games come about, these cities get nominated and then they get chosen to do the event. So then these cities will go out of their way to create a whole new stadium to improve all their infrastructure suddenly because they're hosting the Olympic Games. And then after the Olympics is done, they leave that shit to rot. They don't even use them anymore. And usually in the pre-planning stages, we're gonna use this space for housing. After we're gonna turn these into condos afterwards, and they don't do shit with them. They let them sit. So a lot of times, billions up in the amounts of like tens, 20 billions of dollars is spent towards a lot of these Olympics, especially the summer ones. So my bone to pick with them is like, why don't we use some of the structures that are already existing fix what's around it, and then host the games instead of going out of our way. Say, okay, I know you already have one giant place where we can host it, but we're gonna build a brand new state of the art. We're gonna spend billions on it, and then we're just gonna leave it there to rot when we're done. If that's okay. That's my biggest fucking about the Olympics.
Now you're calling into a little bit of what I know.
Oh, okay.
And what I know is that
truth,
Houston has come close twice.
Yeah.
To hosting an Olympics, and this was back in the late 90s.
We can host them in the Astrodome.
This was the late 90s, mid to late 90s when we came so close.
Damn.
We built a stadium for cyclists. I think it's called the Aerodrome.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, way on the west side of town, I think. Now, for those of you who are watching, leave some in the comments below. Always leave something. Let us know if you remember that. But I do remember that we came close, and I think we got beat out by Los Angeles once. But that was in the mid-1980s. And I think we might have gotten beat out by Atlanta in the 90s. So I think we always came close.
Yeah.
So they asked us to build these things, and we built a couple of things, but we didn't really go into it because it's like, at the time, they wanted us to make sure that the athletes could get back and forth. So, they were talking about building a rail line so that the people could get back and forth to the games. And it just went through a lot of commotion in the city and how much it was going to cost.
Yeah, because the people that lived there pissed them off that for years they said, hey, we need these fixed. We need a new subway system, a new bus line. We need the streets need to be repaved. And they're like, we don't, our budget is limited and we can't fix none of that shit. And then the Olympics say, oh, you're our new city now. And they're like, suddenly the streets get fixed. The infrastructure is on point.
I don't think that we are... this is sad to say.
We have a shitty metro system in Houston, at least in my personal opinion.
I think it's gotten way better.
You think? Okay.
I honestly do think, as one who uses it quite often, I think it's gotten way better. Bus service is definitely much better than it used to be.
Have you been watching the Britney Spears things recently?
Yes, I have.
Ooh,
and
you're up on the Brittany tea.
I am. I'm up on a little bit of the Brittany tea.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a lot to fill in, except for the fact that I have watched a lot of videos now from people in the community when it comes to Brittany.
Yeah.
So first of all, unfortunately, she lost her case. For now.
Wait, is that confirmed?
Yeah, she lost her case. So
the new one that she's been, what?
She lost her case. So
how and why?
She had to fire her lawyer.
The new one?
Fired her manager.
No, okay. There's been changes since then. Yeah.
Okay. Hit me up with the changes. What did I miss? Because I know that the last time I watched it.
So she got a new lawyer. She no longer works with her old team.
No, she no longer. She fired her entire team.
Right. The old team, the old management team, the old lawyers that she had. She got a new defense lawyer, and then that defense lawyer is helping. It's giving her what he's doing is trimming the fat from from her dad's side of things. For example, security was one of them. So the new lawyer said, no, we're bringing in a new team of security that works for us, not the security team that works for your father. Because what was happening is while they were in trial and security was around Brittany, they were hearing everything that was going on and they were reporting it back to the dad. So they had no real angle. They had no real surprise, we're going to get you in court over this. By the time they got to court, her dad's team already knew. So now Brittany's working with a new lawyer. She's got a new security team, new people around her. That's why you're noticing some behavior on social media, which that's what the fuck gets me every single time. It's her fucking behavior on IG. Did you see her most recent post?
No, I didn't see her most recent post.
Where's my phone? My phone.
Girl, you have an iPad in front of you.
Bitch, don't tell me how to live my life.
You have an iPad in front of you. Good
and
Lord.
What about it? So let me show you. So Brittany. So here's the thing, and so you can at least understand my perspective. This is
he is following Brittany on Instagram. Yes, I saw that picture this morning.
That one, and then there's her other one.
What is up with her and the breasts?
I don't know if I can show this to y'all. Well, I think I can because it's Instagram. So that famous picture, and I'll show it on the display.
Yeah, exactly.
Then the other picture, that one.
Okay. So, and for those of you listening to the podcast, just go to her Instagram. Just go to her Instagram.
They're there. She hasn't taken them down or deleted them.
They're there.
My point of view is, girl, express yourself however the fuck you want, right? live your truth, live your life, live your fantasy, however the fuck or the hell you want to.
Is there going to be a but in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're in the middle of a fucking trial for your freedom. In my mind, the other team is looking for shit to get you on to prove that you're a crazy bitch, so they don't let you go from the conservatorship. I think it's also a slip up on her lawyer's behalf. I think he should say, "Hey, girl, don't post those pictures yet. Let's wait till we win the thing. Let's wait till we win, and then you can post wherever."
Yeah, because we lost the last time, so let's wait until we do the retrial and do this again.
So, my thing is, be more calculated of what you're doing instead of more spontaneous and that could hurt you in the future or in the long run.
I can understand where she's coming from with those pictures, though. Just wanting to have a sense of, you know what, I'm going to do whatever I want to do and everything else. But like you said, girl, you got to bring it down a notch because we haven't won a case yet.
Yeah, bring it down a notch for now. You're fighting for your freedom, girl.
And you know, the fact that, you know what really is heartbreaking to me? I know what I say. I said what I said the last time, and I meant what I said.
Period.
Was the fact that I find this all to be silly and all this other stuff because I don't want to get involved in all this celebrity drama. Right. But the fact of the matter is that she was forced to get an IUD because she can't. They didn't want her to.
What's an IUD?
An IUD is a device that prevents pregnancy that has to be surgically inserted.
One of those.
I'm sorry. A woman can't get an abortion, but she could be forced to get an IUD. Love it
when like these old ass men think that they can have a decision over
her mother and her father
over a woman's body.
Yeah, over a woman's body. The hypocrisy is.
I love that TikTok video of that girl. She's like, "My body is not a legislation," and she just went in, and she became a little TikTok famous because of that. Yeah,
exactly. That's when I became a little bit worried because I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. So now we dictating to a woman what she can do with her body.
Right.
Now I'm like, okay, no, this is not. Okay, I know I said it was silly before.
Yeah.
But now we get into territory that's scary.
Yeah. And
we're getting into.
I'm not a cis woman, so I can't really speak for women.
Exactly.
I'm looking at it from the outside in as a gay cis male who believes in equality for people all the way around. I do agree with women when they say I don't think a man should tell me how my body should work. That's
exactly.
Because I always flip the table. Think about it if a woman told us men how we needed to play with our thing down there, or how we need to, what we can and cannot do. And you'd be like, how are you going to tell me what I can and cannot do with my penis? And you don't even have one.
Yeah, exactly. So we're in this situation where we're getting into territory that's dangerous.
It is
It's very dangerous for women, and I'm like, okay, now I have to get on board. Now I understand what the whole thing is, because it's getting very dangerous out here when someone can literally control even your reproductive rights. That's scary.
Whether you want to keep or not keep a life. And that's a whole argument in itself.
Yeah, exactly.
And people go into it. I'm like, leave it up to the woman to make that choice of decision. You really don't know what happened, the background, the story, the reason why. And I'm sure half of those women don't want to be in those clinics doing those things, but there are reasons for it.
And I get it. Her father managed her career earlier in the day, and she probably should have let him go way back then.
Kind of like Beyonce did. I think Beyonce was down that path. Her dad was becoming that way, controlling of everything around her.
And then she had to say, you know what?
Beyonce said, Dad, we got to go.
Yeah,
exactly. You got to go.
I love you,
but you got to go.
But you got to go.
And look where she's at now.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Brittany could have been in, but I think she's such a Southern girl.
No,
she really is. She's a Louisiana Southern girl who loves her family and trusted her family. And she's paying the price for it.
If y'all are business savvy, you know damn well not to do business with your family.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless y'all have contracts written out, and even then, friends and family. I hate doing business with friends and family.
It's easy for me. It's easier to do business with friends than it is with family. I will never ever do business with family ever.
And you always get fucked over most of the time. Not always, most of the time.
And if you know your friends, you know which ones you can do business with and which ones you don't.
But I think in Brittany's case, they had her so controlled and manipulated that they got away with it for so long.
And her sister.
And her sister's getting the fucking short end of that stick.
Jamie Lynn.
A hypocrite ass bitch, first of all. I said it. Tell her I said it. I don't give a fuck. What about it? Catch me outside, Jimmy.
Is YouTube going to have to censor that language? Yes.
Nah, fam.
Mm-hmm. We don't want to cash her outside.
Bitch.
In a literal way, we just mean figuratively. But
you're not that girl.
Yeah.
You're not that girl.
You had your little cute spurt on Nickelodeon. You're done. Let's just call it a day. But the fact of the matter is that the fact that her sister's involved in all this, I'm like,
and she's claiming, no, I'm not. I've never taken from her, but you're kind of living in her house in Florida. You're kind of, whether you're not getting directly, you're being supported by somebody.
You know what?
One way or another, and you're being quiet because it benefits you. You may not take directly from her, but you're indirectly taking from her.
It would benefit you better if you were on Brittany's side, because once she would be done with all this,
no, Brittany called her the fuck out. She did.
No, that's what that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If Jamie Lee was really smart about this,
Jamie Lee,
whatever, I don't give a shit. The fact of the matter is that if she had been smarter about this, you support your sister, because once your sister gets out of this, you're taken care of for the rest of your life. And that's all I'm saying.
That's it.
That's all I'm saying. You are taken care of for the rest of your life.
Stupid.
Now you're gonna look stupid in front of everybody, and I don't know what to tell you. Girl, you're gonna lose out.
That bitch. Did you see the CDC brought the mask back?
Not surprised. I'm actually worried about having this conversation because...
FYI, I don't know if I told you, I got my first COVID shot.
Okay, now I'm not worried about having this conversation.
What about it, mama? I got the shot.
We have discussed before the shot why you didn't want to get the shot.
Right.
So now that you got your first shot and you'll be on your way to your second shot here in a few weeks.
Just to be clear, I didn't want to get this.
No, he didn't want to. Honestly, he did not.
Did not care for it. But because I changed jobs in the new job, and I already quit my old job, and the new job said, hey, one of the requirements, and we told you this, which they did ahead of time, they're like, it's the COVID shot. You need to start showing us proof that you're getting it. When are you getting it? And they've been on it. So finally I was like, okay, I'll do it.
I did not want to have that conversation with you because I knew how you feel about it. But at the same time, I'm like, we need to have this conversation because, first of all, the rates have gone back up again. And it's with the new Delta variant. And I realized that there are still people who
I will say this about the shot. My coverage got better in my area. My cell phone service, it's improved a lot. The quality of the Wi-Fi in my home is superb, bitch. Like, I've never cruised the internet so hard at the house.
I know.
Porn streams with no pixels, bitch. I'm like, damn.
Can I give you some advice since you got the first shot? Get yourself a VPN because you want to protect you need to protect your stuff online. So get yourself a private little VPN, so that
virtual private network.
Yes, so that you can search the web and look for the things that you like to look for.
No, and you told me a hack the other day that if I get the VPN, that I can sign into a different country where certain shows are allowed.
Yes,
and I can watch those contents from those shows.
I could watch
that I would normally pay for in America a lot more.
I watched season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race using France's VPN.
Period.
And I was like, I just watched the entire... I am now fully caught up. Now, I know what I said.
I was about to say, you kind of had a little rant last week.
Yeah, I did, and I still mean it. The fact of the matter is that I want to see some Houston Queens on here.
You said, but if I quote correctly, fuck RuPaul, she ain't shit.
But I had this most amazing dream, and I have to tell you about this dream when it comes to RuPaul's dream. No, it was not, unfortunately. I wish it was.
No. Okay.
I see what's going on with all the races and all the stuff that's going on here in Houston.
Right.
And I feel like Houston, the next few years, we're going to dominate. I feel like RuPaul is going to have to go, you know what? Okay, so we're going to get a Houston girl, and we're going to see how she does. But I think
it better be the right one.
Yeah.
Even though if we get a Houston girl up in that show, and it's one of the girls that nobody really rooted for, I mean, we'll root, but we'll be like, really, that bitch?
But I can tell you right now, she will be well backed. Because if RuPaul is going to, I'm still missing the old school. These girls need to come on here with what they got and show what they can do.
Yeah.
But now these girls are getting designers and paying thousands of dollars for their gowns and their outfits before they come on the show.
Whether you realize it or not, as somebody, if you're somebody who just likes to watch drag and you're not necessarily, like for example, your local drag, and you don't necessarily know any drag queens, but you like going to their shows. When you see a stone shine really bright in your face, when you see some of these costumes that they either make themselves or have somebody make from, like Joel just said, they pay a fuckload of money for those shows.
Yeah, exactly.
For those dresses, gowns, outfits, especially when they do competitions. They're spending money on that.
And I remember when these girls would go, I would go shopping with these girls at the thrift shops and turn
Not the thrift
trash
drag.
into treasures, girl.
Yes, they do.
Into a fabulous gown. So
You had to be.
yeah, you had to be. You had to be resourceful because if I remember correctly, it wasn't Desi. It was Miss Dion. Yes, Miss Dion, who said that, you know what, I had to turn trash into treasure.
Yeah.
I had to, I've been doing this a long time.
Especially
and
when you're starting out.
Yeah,
You're making a name for yourself.
Yeah, when you're making a name for yourself. But these girls in Houston, I think they're getting prepared because they know exactly what RuPaul wants.
Yeah.
And because we've been excluded for so long, they out here practicing getting that.
It comes any minute now.
It's going to be an army of drag queens from Houston.
There's a handful of them I know that can go tomorrow. And
Yeah, exactly.
and, they're ready to go.
Exactly.
They're waiting for that phone call.
They're waiting for that phone call. In fact, I mean, if Desi got that phone call, she'd be ready to go.
Yeah.
She would easily be ready to go.
She's
and
one of them.
And she is one of those. She's one of those queens. Violets are blue.
Yes.
Blackberry.
Yes.
Now, Blackberry is going to be a little bit. I think we talked. Now, I didn't talk to this with Blackberry, but I've talked to other queens about this. It might be a while before we see a bearded queen on
think
RuPaul.
so?
Yeah, because it takes RuPaul. Good Lord, it took,
Or what if Blackberry is the one that breaks the door down?
Yeah, exactly.
And makes it a thing.
But it took forever for her
It's
to
been
get
13 seasons, so why not season 14? Maybe throw in a little alternative in
But
there.
girl, it took this long just to get trans queens on the
That's
show.
true.
So it took this long to get.
But also in Blackberry's defense, from my observation, she's not like she's a bearded queen, but she's also like an elegant.
Yeah, she's an
queen. She fits in with the pageant girls and all that. So like she fits into the aesthetics of the show.
But watching the judging and everything else, I'm like, how is Michelle Visage going to be fairly judge her on the runway as a bearded queen without having to tell her, if you shave that beard off, blah, 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 blah.
She's not going to. That's her look. That's been her look, her brand.
Yeah, exactly.
Since she started.
But they, like I said, they like to change these queens up. They like to ask these queens to make challenges.
I'm going to post a picture of Blackberry for y'all to see her.
Yeah.
And in her social media.
Exactly. And by the way, you've probably already seen her in the Facebook commercials.
That's true.
In the Facebook commercials, especially on Hulu. I'm like, oh my God, there's Blackberry.
There she is.
But, so y'all have probably already seen her. But he is going to post some pictures of her. And like I said, she is just a gorgeous queen from Houston.
Did you see Kanye West is coming out with a new album?
Yes. And I also heard that one of the songs is about the fact that he's losing his family and all this other stuff.
Lost already? Because they're already divorced. They're divorcing.
How are you? I know that you probably lost your wife, but I don't think did he lose his?
It's typical Kanye. When he goes through losses, he makes songs about them. Like when he lost his mom, he did 808 and Heartbreaks, that entire album. Well, it changed his career because it brought a whole new side of him. But this new album that he titled it Donda in honor of his mother. And so far, all the leaks that have been coming out are just on fire. The music that's coming out of this is going to be dope ass music. What I like about Kanye is when he actually puts when he actually concentrates on one thing, and he's already a self-proclaimed genius, and he is a genius, and on some level, when he puts his mind to his shit, to his craft, the bro comes out with some of the best fucking music ever. The last album, Dark Twisted Fantasy, was one of the most, like, from the moment you hit play to the end of the album, you're like, that album is everything.
I don't know. Is he still?
He is.
Is he still relevant?
Yeah,
are we saying that he's still?
He is.
Yeah, even with all the mistakes and mishaps and
Kanye for some reason has a pass in pop culture. Like regardless of how many rants he's had, regardless of how much bullshit he talks or whatever, like for some reason it entertains us, and because the music is so fucking good that it outweighs his own personality.
Well, I guess when you can back it up, even though you can act.
And it's sad because some people only know him for his personality, and some people only know him for his music, and some people know him for both. I know him for all aspects of him. The fashion design.
You seem to be like a big fan.
I'm a fan of Kanye. I've been a fan of Kanye since day one. I don't agree with all the bullshit he throws out there. I agree with some of it, but when I see that he's putting his effort towards something good and making great, that's when I jump on board.
Do you think it's hard to negotiate when an artist's work is important, but their politics are kind of, you kind of look at them and go, why did you say that?
Not really. I actually like when people are actually transparent. When people can say, look, I know you perceive me as this, as a musician, but this is who I am as a person. And then I'm still that same musician, but this is who I am. Take it or leave it. And that's who you know how. That's how most of these guys have their real fan base, because they love them for who they are. And that's what I like about Kanye. Because in some ways, I kind of relate to Kanye at times. I see some of myself in him in a way. Just the way we're both very like brash, and we know what we want, and we're clear. We have a vision for things, and like sometimes we call shit out. Kanye's known for calling shit out all the time.